we do that. So there's nothing wrong there. But in my submission, uh, Yakomba and the emotions that bring up, that is normal play. People have their own perspectives when it's happening. It's neither here nor there. It won't add to any degree of what's happening with Cap 3. Nyaye opposition is coming up in drips and drabs. All that happened, it is what it is. We know it. And it's also normal for Zimbabweans to fight their own corner or do politics. But I think the basis of the argument, fundamentally, if I have to remind everybody, part of my submission, is to remind you that this is not a political solution. You can open new parties. You can swear at other Zimbabweans to tell them, go open your new party. It won't bring you freedom. Fundamentally. Chamisa can open the next three. He can put next 180 days. After 180 days, he can even print new t-shirts. He can buy another car and do whatever. But fundamentally, it won't bring us freedom in terms of ZANU-PF. It won't. It won't, whether you like it or you don't. It's been a failure up to now. Chamisa has not brought us freedom. Tsvangirai did not even bring us freedom himself, as big as he is, through GNU, but brought us opposition parties that are very corrupt and are now part of Vatenkesi Wobo to eat with ZANU-PF. Meanwhile, what we need is freedom to remove ZANU-PF, not to get into a GNU with ZANU-PF in any shape or form. And this is the issue that the politicians and your leaders across the board with their new and old parties, baby or baby with teeth, are not going to do. But perhaps the suffering will get enough and we will get to that point. But it doesn't remove it. You can continue to politic, and capture our spaces with your grievances about from MDCA to MDCX to MDC what. You can hawk our spaces with all your historical fights, Vichitenkesana, Imimi, Miriweka, and ZANU-PF will always play for that. It will do nothing for our freedom. Absolutely nothing. But we're yet to see eventually when you give up, when you've cried and are tired of hawking our spaces towards resistance. Maybe at that point, we'll move into the next phase of totally removing ZANU-PF. And ZANU-PF will be removed not by getting into any negotiation with ZANU-PF or into any sort of GNU, new party, old party. You can remove Coupe, kill Coupe, remove Gomba, and do whatever. But you are all compromised into politicking when we need freedom. We don't need your politics anymore. You can hijack us, bring your issues of politics. It's very interesting to listen how you have been selling each other, how Chiroba Kupenempama, the coup that Chamisa did, and Zwesa, it's all historical fact. We can go through all that when you hijack our spaces, but it won't give us freedom. And the freedom is to remove ZANU-PF. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to politic against Chamisa, you want to put Chamisa and others, even others who are not for Chamisa, you want to put him against Guti, remove him and whatever. Even if you remove Chamisa today, it won't get rid of of ZANU-PF. It won't. The issue is to get rid of Chamisa. No matter how you've lost money, you can buy bulletproof car for Chamisa. It won't remove ZANU-PF. It won't. The issue is to remove ZANU-PF whether you like it or not. And you can bang us about open your new party. Do what? Opening a new party will not remove ZANU-PF. Resistance, peaceful, saying that we no longer want ZANU-PF is what is going to give us the freedom, and then we can politic after. Before that, go ahead. You can shout, you can swear at us, you can do tribalism, you can do any versions of those things. It won't remove ZANU PF. What removes ZANU PF is going to be we can no longer go to an armed resistance. It's not even feasible. 0%. But the most powerful thing is that eventually there will be Zimbabweans who can remove consent. To say, I look forward to, no matter how bleak it is, whether they put Cap 3 or not, whether they put Munumutapa there or not, whether they appeal to tribal there or not, is that ZANU PF, you have never given us anything since 1980. And we want your removal. With or without, even if they put a new constitution to stop me from saying so. But I, as a citizen, have the conscience to say no to ZANU PF. Simple. Even if you hate it or whatever, and you want ZANU, right? Even those that want ZANU PF, their freedom depends on us to say the removal of ZANU PF is the way to go. Nyabong.
Right. Thank you very much. Can I go to the next speaker, please?
Okay, Ango. Yeah, thanks for the patience. Inini ndanchida pane pandanyatso kujoina nchida kutaura maamambobvunza vagomba kuti why is it like ma-MPs akawanda kana kuti ma-councillors vachiti vakabuda mupati vakanocontesta vanogona kutobva vashaya kana one vote right. So I was thinking of Fadzai Mahere as an example, a practical example. Fadzai Mahere akambocontesta Mount Pleasant asati ajoina Triple C akaluza despite running anga ane campaign yanga yakarongeka and everything. She lost to an MDC Alliance candidate whom I might categorize as substandard. Then azojoina Triple C akazowina same Mount Pleasant. It tells a lot about my optics politics emuZimbabwe. MuZimbabwe vanhu vanokoshesa popularity, charisma, and drews down from kubva kuma-leaders party zvichidzika zvakadaro. Saka zvemamerits nekuti uri authentic zvakadii hazvinyanyoshanda. Zvekutoti vagomba vanogona kunge vachitori wrong pakufunga kuti chamisa apera. If an election was to be done today, you might be shocked kuona chamisa achipula manumbers because the mentality yemazimbabweans haisati yamachuwa zvokusvika pakuti vanhu vanoremekedza kuti toda munhu akaita sei. Vanoda zvinhu zvinovatekenyedza nyama nenzeve. Hence why even after all these attempts and whatever, kutori navamwe vanhu vachiri kuvabhilivha zvakanyanya zvokuti chero mukazama kuda kudii munogona kutorwa muchizama kuda kuvaonesa kuti takamira panzvimbo imwe chete. Saka isociety yakadaro. Endai chero kuma-celebrities edu, kune vanhu vanogona kutopikira kuda kufira kuti kwai ndiriwo kwawingi mumwe achiti ndiriwo kwaJapraise. Vamwe vanodhifenda macelebrity chero vaita zvinhu zvakaipa sei, chero akasungwa akazonzi abuda. Tarisai Wikinew chaichai, a convicted criminal, someone who has made his money through our suffering, is becoming a celebrity. Of the same people who are saying they don't like ZANU PF, go and check Facebook wake. They will be saying kure mazuva makaipa mudhara, just because maybe someone waanoteera kana kuti waanofarira apiwa mota naWikinew. It tells a lot, Ango, about the society, the Zim society. And until and unless zvachinja, Chamisa can still get numbers. And I'm afraid kuti vanose vanofunga kuti apera munogona kuzorwadziwa mamona achiita rocking my numbers. It's not because he's good or what, but he's charismatic and haitombosiri debate yekuti tingasora tichiita panapa kuti zvamanje manje ukanzi ngapamire munhu ane manumbers kana kuti anogona kupula manumbers. Chamisa will still take it because he got the blessing and he still has it, and I don't know until when pazomuka mumwe anogona kunge aine achimecha that ni same ningiri, otherwise he's still the guy. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much. Appreciate. Can I go to the next speaker? I think yes.
Right. In the way about topic,
we are able to the mic.
Oh yeah, I was saying in the way about topic, the way about space because of the topic, which was very clear. And me, I don't have much to say other than the fact that what has landed Zimbabwe in this precarious situation is a failure of opposition politics. Because ZANU-PF, everybody knows, and even if Diana Andri a beneficiary of ZANU-PF, because Diana Andri was a member of ZANU-PF, I will be applauding Wamunangagwa. I was saying by all means, Kutiba continue because under his tenure, under the ZANU-PF has become one of the strongest political parties, and look what it's doing. It's about to entrench parliament and the presidential office by extending it to 7 years. Even that, as a member of parliament, when you're voting to say, you know what, you've got a job for 5 years, do you want it for 7 years? Who is more likely to say no to that? And I know for some time, I think that's one of the things that went wrong when this agenda year 2030 came into the play. Everybody was so focused on Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa wants to know. You should have said, you know what, our MPs and our ministers are the ones who were selfish. But Mnangagwa kept on saying, I don't want to be a president past 2028. I'll follow the constitution. And you thought, many people thought the changing of the constitution is benefiting Mnangagwa. Even up to now, when we are arguing this issue, people think Mnangagwa is at the center. He is just a beneficiary. People who are benefiting are the cabinet, because if he continues to be in that office, his cabinet will not change. Many ministers in the wrong way. People like parliament, we have got in Zimbabwe, we've got harmonized elections. That means the parliament will also have 7 years. So you forgot, there are many beneficiaries who we should have attacked more. Those the cabinet, like the Minister of Justice, when he's extending this, all those members of parliament, when they're saying, hey, Vicky, 30 ED, to be honest with you, they're also doing it for their own benefit. And at that point, mostly when you're having these debates, it was overlooked. So this parliament now, I just wanted to come back and say, in as much as ZANU-PF is growing stronger, co-opposition, we have lost those. My point is, who is more likely to benefit and how most likely should we tackle this? And for me, thinking, Chamisa, how smart he is, I don't know. In fact, I thought he was one of the most smartest guys. And me, I'm shocked that he was outplayed by ZANU-PF this much. And shockingly, I would say this. The only thing that makes sense to me is that Chamisa must have somehow there been compromised by ZANU-PF. Because there is no way a lawyer would actually think the best way to run an organization. I'm a lawyer myself. There is no way that you would think the best way to run an organization is to have no papers in terms of the constitution. Even if you're creating a trust, even a family company, even a will, you don't just say, these are my wishes and that people will respect them. You put those things in writing so that the laws can enforce them. But I think if you look at it, it's not making any sense. I don't know. One day when Chamisa wants to run again, and there are people who really want to ask him questions. I don't know if last time when he was running for president, he did one interview which he only did with the first time it was his own interview. I don't know if he's that person who is open studies. I would like to hear people ask him a question. What was the rationale for him to actually think the best way to run that opposition was to have no constitution at all? Or at the time that Shabang emerged, why not put back the political party into order by an emergency congress and participate in the by-elections properly? all that thing of saying not he has left, even though I don't know, I think too much confusion went into the opposition. But even if I was a national beat, guys like Beat, when Chamisa said suddenly I'm resigning, Triple C should have sued Chamisa. For if you're a president, you also have got what is called a fiduciary duty because you are the head. You are heading an organization. The way that you resign should also show that you have got the best interest. You've got the best interest of the organization at heart. When he was resigning, if he had the best interest of Triple C, which he was running, he would have said, "Look, this organization is hijacked. Me, I no longer want to be the leader. But before I leave, maybe let's have an emergency Congress to pass on the stick." But you see what he did? The way that he left Zambia, Triple C, it clearly showed that even he himself was setting it up to fail. That he can come back and say, look, for the past 2 years, nobody did anything, so I'm coming back into the politics. And okay, since he made that announcement, what progress has he done? Because he was pointing out fingers when I was not there for 2 years, nothing happened. Now that he's back, what has he done? So you see that in Zimbabwe, it's just, I really don't understand where we are going, really, as the youth. I don't know where we are going with Chamisa. I feel like he's too old for us. I don't think he has got the best interest of us as the youth of Zimbabwe. I always talk about that the best years of getting involved in politics as the youth is when you are that at 18 there and maybe up to around to 30. Was you only get to vote about 4 times before you start getting to you're a youth, you're just finishing school at 18, and you go to university, maybe you finish around 25. From that age, you only vote. Now, looking at the fact that you're going to be voting after every 7 years, that means before you move from your youth as a young adult to the point where you're now a responsible adult, you are going to vote maybe twice. So it was very important for us, the youth, to be very, very, very involved in politics. And you'll be shocked with the ignorance that people have. People don't feel like they support Chamisa as if he's a celebrity. They don't ask very crucial questions. How can we have ZANU-PF becoming more strong? At the very least, if you're not involved in participating in making ZANU-PF strong, at the very least, it shows that you are incompetent. Because no one here, is there anyone here who disputes that when Tsvangirai died and Chamisa took over, ZANU-PF became more strong? For the first, right now it is 2/3 of parliament. Who didn't know when you've got 2/3 of parliament, you are going to allow them to do amendments to the constitution? At the very least, when Chamisa was making all those rants about elections have been rigged, people should disengage, he should have maintained a very clear message that it's important for us to maintain that 2/3. We may have lost the election.
He did a coup against Coupe to take power, a coup.
And that's true. And I also believe that this is one of the reasons why Chamisa didn't want to have a binding constitution. Because even if you look at that, you can say the judiciary is captured. But if you look at that judgment, where the Supreme Court was looking at the question of MDC, it was very clear. There was a second vice president who was stupid. There was the first vice president who was stupid. And Tsvangirai died, and therefore she was supposed to be the successor. Whatever you wanted or whatever you thought was the politically correct candidate was irrelevant because we're supposed to follow the constitution, which provided no any other method of succession. But I don't know. So those are the things that I talk about. I don't know. Maybe Chamisa is not really that person.